really two matters, really one, but I was asked by some persons who would have heard me said, sometime last week I was supposed to be going and attending a discussion concerning um, the biblical teaching of the whether Jesus was black or white or what color he was, and who really are the Jews and that kind of thing. So I just might share a piece of that information and my views are biblical, I think. So I would, but what happened? Why I'm here? I would have read the Guardian, as many of us would have. I bought the Guardian today, and I'm seeing here on page 6 of the Guardian where the Prime Minister is speaking about the dragon gas and how important it is for us as a country, as a people, and for the development of our nation, my friends. Kamala Persad is making that kind of declaration of the importance of the dragon gas deal, as I would have shared with you that I have renamed it the PNM gas deal, my friend. The PNM dragon gas deal. Yes, that is how I have labeled it. Because, and that is a fact. Yeah. And that credit, and no one must be allowed to try to take that away, my friends. Because they're going to wake up in the morning and say, PNM had nothing to do with this, you know. If they could wake up and say that Dr. Eric Williams is not the father of the nation, my friends, you'd expect, and in fact, and even wake up in the morning and change the color of our national flag from red, white, and black to red, white, black, and yellow. That happening Carrie Festa in Barbados. So that is why I'm making sure and remind persons. So the Prime Minister, my friends, in today's Guardian, would have shared with us the importance of the dragon gas deal, the PNM dragon gas deal. Now, is it that she just wake up and know how important this gas deal is to the people of Trinidad and Tobago? No, my friends, they always knew it was important, really important for the development of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And yet still, they try their best to sabotage it, my friends. Removing the PNM government is a separate thing from actually trying to sabotage the whole country, my friends, and the people of Trinidad and Tobago for their own political gain and greed, my friends. So here it is, she's admitting something that the government before, Dr. Rowley, would have shared with us over and over, including sharing it with them, how important as a country we need this gas deal, my friends. But inside of the article, she went on to speak about she had meetings with BP and other energy companies to carry forward our energy sector, my friends. So that is what the article is about. Good. But in the same, on that same page 6 of the Guardian, there's a caption where it says Munilal Young OFAC license row intensified. So Stuart Young and Munilal, according to the newspaper, seem to be having a row over the license, the OFAC license, right? But one of the things in this article, the reporter would have asked Dr. Munilal, that is our energy minister, about what is the views of the present government. Have they come to the realization, or have they changed their position on Nicolas Maduro being the president of Venezuela? Asks whether TNT recognizes Nicolas Maduro as Venezuela president. He replied, "Those issues do not arise at this point." He is saying that the issue of we recognizing Maduro as president of Venezuela, that does not arise at this point, my friends. And that was one of the things that they were sharing with the people of Trinidad and Tobago, that Maduro is not the president of Venezuela, my friends. And imagine, up to this present time, he is saying that has not arisen. But who have to raise it? And when will it arise? Because they are making deal with America to, to go and get this man, this same man, that who they declared is not the president of Venezuela, to get gas from him, you know. This same important gas, PNM gas deal, dragon deal, my friends, they are now saying that when was asked the question, do you all view President Nicolas Maduro as the president of Venezuela? He said, well, at the moment, that does not arise. That does not arise, my friends. And that is real frightening. Because one of the first things, if somebody's coming home by me, and before they were coming home by me, or forced to come by me, when they thought that there was no need for me, they tried to destroy my good name, even saying that I doesn't even own the house, or you see the house I live in there? In fact, it's not the wrong man in the house. The house belonged to somebody else. That is what they're saying, you know. That is what they were saying, insulting the man and the people of Venezuela, my friends. I am asking that matter, I am sure, would have been raised by the Venezuelans as a discussion between Stuart Young and even our Prime Minister. I am sure the Venezuelans, over the years, when meeting to negotiate this gas deal, there must have been a discussion as to these people only coming to us for our gas. But here it is, there are persons in your country, in your parliament, is declaring that our president, Nicolas Maduro, is not the recognized president of Venezuela. And on top of that, our president, has been branded a narcotic trading, human trafficking, gun and ammunition running, money laundering, and also a terrorist. And then he has been accused for stealing the elections. Yeah. So I am sure Mr. Stuart Young and the Prime Minister would have had to deal with that question with the Venezuelans. That would have been a real interesting response, my friends. Yeah. What did Dr. Rowley and Stuart Young, when those questions was asked about the vagabonds in our parliament and in the streets of Trinidad and Tobago, who were saying all these nasty things about Nicolas Maduro, even replacing him as the president of Venezuela with a man called Juan Guaido, my friends, who in fact is viewed as an enemy of the people of Venezuela. The people in Trinidad who are in government at this present time say, we don't recognize Maduro. He is a drug cartel boss, a human trafficker, and he stole the elections. He's a dictator. He's all these things. And I am sure, my friends, 10 years of diplomacy, or 8 years of diplomacy, in engaging these Venezuelans to get their gas from them, these questions would have arisen. Yeah? What was Dr. Rowley's response when those questions was raised? And Stuart Young, is it that the Venezuelans never asked about these people here who have been trying to tarnish the government and the name of the people and the good name of the people of Venezuela? So when I hear a man called Munilal, our energy minister, who also was instrumental, my friends, in saying all these nasty things, all kind of nasty things about the Venezuelan president and the government, he is saying that it does not arise as yet. So he's expecting it He is expecting it, like somebody tell him it will arise. And yes, my friends, but here it is. Our Prime Minister presently is now singing as though the exact thing that Dr. Rowley was telling the people for years concerning the Dragon deal. In fact, he even says that if we doesn't get it, crapo smoke we pipe. That is our local talk here. When you tell a crapo smoke your pipe, it means that you're in real trouble. You know? But they ignored all of that deliberately, my friends. And they knew, because just before Dr. Rowley came in office, they were in office. So they knew the level at our energy sector, where it was, what is at, and what is needed. They knew. And they knew he was speaking the truth. And they knew that the effort that he was making to get the Venezuelans to share their gas with us, my friends. Yeah, we only went there with an idea, you know. We don't have nothing to offer, you know. We went with the idea is all the gas, but we could benefit, and we benefiting, or they would benefit also. Is that right? And that negotiation, my friends, on good terms, in good relations, look how much years it took. Yeah. So before this present government, and you know, they went negotiate, and they are so deceitful and dishonest, my friends, that in yesterday's Guardian, we would have read where since May the 19th, my friends, a few days after coming into office, my friends, they wrote for a license to open back the Dragon deal, the PNM Dragon deal, my friends, without telling anybody in Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, walking about saying that the gas deal is there, making big announcement. Yeah? While secretly writing to America and asking, give me the license now. Yeah. Then why you couldn't come and tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago, this is what your intentions are. This is what you're going to benefit, my friends. Come and tell us. You couldn't go and tell your supporters, listen, you see the PNM Dragon deal that I was lying about and saying all these things about? I was really lying. Tell them, because it clearly shows that my friends, what our Prime Minister would have done, including Moonilal, they are prepared, my friends, to crawl on the ground, crawl below the white line, my friends. Yeah, that is what they are prepared to do. Because if you were saying all these nasty things about these people, and in your mind, you are convinced that it is true, how then are you going to approach that kind of a human being to get gas and oil from these people? How? Where you find that kind of strength? My friends, that's real belly, you know. That's no joke belly, you know. After saying all these things about these people, you now have to go crawling to them. You do all kind of things. They want to get a license. They ask you, you ask them if you tell them you would like to engage them. Nothing like that. You just gone behind, just as you went behind our back and apply for license. You gone without even engaging them and letting them know that, listen, we are interested in the Dragon, the PNM Dragon gas field that all you had. They were interested. They didn't even do that. But they went to America. So is it that they intend, my friends, to bully, and at all do whatever is necessary, even if it means removing, because they have already removed Maduro as the president of Venezuela. Yeah, they have done that in our parliament in Trinidad. He's not recognized by them, even though the United Nations recognized Nicolas Maduro as the president of Venezuela. But the dunce and them here does not recognize him as that. So how you could now go to the president? Which president? My friend, every time I pick up the newspapers these days, I get confused, you know. I get confused. And how come? Look how long. Coming back from the United Nations, my friends, look how long. Is it that nobody has made an attempt to contact the people of Venezuela as it relates to their gas and their oil fields? Or is it that we would have made contact and like we keep talking to ourselves? Come and report back. Come and tell we. Come and tell us. Come and tell us. Yeah? Come and tell us. Because, my friends, the Venezuelans would have been viewing Kamla Persad-Bissessar and those in government at present as traitors, my friends. Traitors. You know what I'm telling you? Traitors of the people of the Caribbean. Traitors of CARICOM. Traitors of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, my friends. Because the Venezuelans knew that the people of Trinidad and Tobago would be benefiting from this deal immensely. They knew that. And it is beyond their imagination as to why Trinidadians would betray the people of Trinidad and Tobago, knowing fully well that this deal could only benefit them, as dunce as they are, and the dunce supporters they have, my friends. Everyone in Trinidad and Tobago. The Venezuelans knew that. So the Venezuelans, my friends, including Maduro, President Maduro, he, I am telling you, is in a state of shock because he can't believe, yeah, he can't believe after persons was trying to join with people to get rid of him, to kill him, even mean killing him because the United States have a bounty of 50 million US on his head. Yeah, that is what our government at present would have joined with to get rid. Imagine that. They were prepared to support the American President Donald Trump. Yeah. Because, my friends, it's not now they are fighting this man they call Maduro from the year he came in office. Yeah. But because the People's National Movement, with people of good vision, my friends, wisdom, would have seen and would have negotiated back and forth, even going to America, going all about the place and bringing people involved to speak on our behalf, my friends, to convince these Venezuelan people. Yeah. They destroy it, my friends. They destroy it. And after destroying it, destroy it with lies. Munilal is saying that recognizing Maduro as the president, that does not arise yet. Well, what do you mean yet? When that's supposed to arise? He is the owner. He's the owner of the Dragon deal, of the Dragon gas fields, my friend. He is the owner. And you cannot even bring yourself to declare when the reporter asks you, yeah, and even change your position, my friend. Because changing their position and saying that they recognize him as the president of Venezuela, they have a problem with Donald Trump. Because he does not recognize him as the president of Venezuela. Yeah. Yeah. They now have a problem, a next problem with Donald Trump. Yeah. My friends, that is what I read in the newspapers today. And I thought I would not want persons to not miss, to miss our Prime Minister, who would have said all these nasty things about the PNM Dragon deal, my friends, is now saying as though our livelihood depend on the exact deal. Yeah. So she is prepared to crawl and beg a drug lord, yeah, a drug trafficker. And let me tell you something, my friends. Because of sanctions on Venezuela, Venezuela population right now home could be about 29, 30 million people. So it's clearly to maintain whatever life and living that is taking place in Venezuela is not a little bit of drugs. So he's not an ordinary drug lord. And you know with drugs, one of the things is how to kill people. Because there are people who trying to take over your business. There are people who trying to cut you up. So yeah, men killing people for you. So he's not just, this is drug world. This is drug world, my friends. So they are now telling us, Trinidad and Tobago, with a straight face, and as though there are no shame, that we are prepared to crawl on the ground, to go and beg the drug lord, my friends. Or is it that they must then admit that they was lying? You know, we were lying on him. That we want to tell people. You're coming to tell Trinidad and Tobago and the world that we was lying on Maduro when we said that we recognize Juan Guaido as the president. It was a lie. That is what you're gonna say, my friends. Our country in real trouble, real trouble, my friends, because the promises that was made in the elections, it was about you know what it was? It was about putting party first, party before country. And she said, anybody putting country before party, go to hell. Go to hell. We talking about putting country first, party first, my friends. If country were first, we would not have found ourselves in this situation. The situation that we are in at this present time. Yeah. Because you can launch a campaign to remove the PNM without damaging our economic well-being and stability, my friends. As a country, you could do that. Yeah. My friends, what they have done, they are now going and talking to all kind of people except the owners of the gas. Why they, how nobody's engaging the Venezuelans, and how nobody from Trinidad better to send back Stuart Young, because them Venezuelans know him at a level of trust, and send him back and see in the interest of Trinidad and Tobago, send him and see. Yeah, I would have called Stuart Young and tell him, you know, you ever work for you, you know. Yeah, because you did not call them people. These are nasty names and things that we call them. The people of Venezuela, my friends, after having a 50 million US bounty on Maduro head, with about 30 million people that is supposed to try to get rid of Maduro and his government, so that they could start to live good and play carnival, and because that is the promise, and they'll get plenty money and things will flow. No attempt has been made, yeah, by any Venezuelan to see if they could collect that reward. None. So what then is America's next plan? America's next plan is, you see that solidarity in Venezuela? We need to interfere with it. That kind of a solidarity, where like even down to the dog and all, when it's barking like it's barking Maduro, You see them dog on them in Spanish, and like they say, yes, Maduro, the dog and all. So here what we will do. We will now use Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Yeah. We will use her. Because let me tell you something, my friend. Anytime the people of Venezuela, let me explain this to you. The people of Venezuela have recognized that Donald Trump is their enemy, and Kamala Persad-Bissessar is also their enemy. The people. Even if Maduro, he didn't recognize it. Well, let me tell you something. The people, you see the 30 million people in Venezuela, they view Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the Trinidad and Tobago government as their enemy, planning and plotting how to bomb them, how to get rid of the government, how to get rid of the president, and how to steal the natural resources, my friends. You could imagine that? We would have found oil and gas in Trinidad and Tobago, and the government developed this country. We drink all the money, we thief all the money, we do all kinds of money. But nobody, when we had that type of energy, nobody plotted or tried to come and take what belongs to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, or plotted anybody to overthrow, to take our oil and gas. Yeah. No. After we play carnival with what we had, we plotting to thief. That is what it is, my friends. We are plotting with foreigners, with America, to thief what does not belong to them and us from the Venezuelan people, my friends. That is the plot. Yeah. Because when we get rid of Maduro, we will install our own people, and because we support Donald Trump, that's how we want to get gas, and that's how we want to get the people and everything. That is how we want to get gas and oil that doesn't belong to us from Venezuela, my friends. That is what we reach to. Yes, Preston, that is what we reach to. You know why? The people that we voted for, they are vagabonds. That's what they are. They stand on no principle. I said, are nasty-minded people. They are driven by greed. Yeah. At all costs, my friends. At all costs. Yeah. Imagine that. You coming up with a plot. The whole Dragon gas field, my friends, is in Venezuela. That whole gas field is in Venezuela. It belongs to them. Yeah. 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 CARICOM say, this area here, this zone, keep all the war, go somewhere and fight all the war. Yeah. Our Prime Minister says, no, come Donald Trump, come Donald. We have room here for you to launch your missiles when Venezuela attack Guyana, the neighbor. Yeah. You can imagine that? The country that they pretending that they want to defend, Guyana, the president come out one time and ask what stupid talk and what dotishness is this going on with our Prime Minister, you know. Yeah. And her response was, my friends, that Trinidad and Tobago come first. We come first. She does not even understand the difference between first and last, my friends. She does not understand the difference between first and last. Yeah. So my friends, I just want once again to share with the Venezuelan people and let them know that the people of Trinidad and Tobago, my friends, the people are your friends, not your enemy. But there are people in Trinidad and Tobago who are enemies of both CARICOM and the people of Venezuela, my friends. They are the government led by Kamala Persad-Bissessar. They are the government, my friends. They are against the people, the government, by their own utterances. They have removed the president of Venezuela from the position that the people of Venezuela voted for him, and they have installed a man called Juan Guaido, my friends, in our parliament. That is on the record. And the reason why I'm sharing this, my friends, now they are coming pretending that we are friends with Venezuela, my friends. We are friends. When did we or they become friends with Venezuela, my friends? They are coming that whenever under Maduro give away any part of the Dragon deal, my friends, to them, the people of Venezuela will rise up. Yeah. And they will revolt. There will be a revolution. You know why? They will view Maduro as betraying the trust of the people and betraying and giving the enemy. Yeah. After they are willing to die, because let me tell you something, my friends, they are willing to fight and die in the Amazon, yeah, for what belongs to them. Yeah. They are prepared. Yeah. And for him to now come and give it away to the enemy, my friend, it's a no deal Maduro could make, especially if it involved giving away any other gas to Trinidad and Tobago at this present time, that would make the people and keep the unity in Venezuela, my friends. Yeah. There will be a fracture in the stability, yeah, in the sturdiness, yeah, in the people. Yeah. Right away is confusion and mayhem, and you will not be able to control. Yeah. So what they are looking for is that the 50 million US didn't work. Yeah. So they sit down up in Washington and work it out. How can we get these people against him? Yeah. Yeah. They know that Maduro and the Venezuelan recognize Kamala Posada as the enemy of the people of Venezuela. So imagine you're going to make a deal. It's as though you're making a deal with Donald Trump. It is as though he is making a deal with Donald Trump, who want to get rid of him. Yeah. When we and the people of CARICOM was able to make deals with Venezuela without having any enemy. America is not our enemy, nor the people of Venezuela was our enemy. Yeah. But when you see a dunce, my friends, when you see a dunce, and you circle yourself with people who are more dunce than you, and end up in leadership, this is what has happened. So my friends, I will pause there on that matter for now. I just want to share with a couple of persons who would have asked me my views on whether Jesus is black or white. I just want to tell them that those persons who would have painted him white, they were wrong, and those persons who claim him black, they're also wrong. Both sides are wrong. There are those persons who claim that when you read the Bible, you know, it have certain things that like woolly hair and burn, his feet as burned brass. Well, the Bible didn't leave us to wonder who he was. Let me just share this with you. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 26, verse 1 to 6, you will see where when the Israelites left Egypt and they were about to enter into the promised land, God spoke to Moses, even though Moses did not take them over. He said, when you go over into the promised land, you shall take of the first fruit of the land, put it in a basket, give it to the priest, and the priest shall lay it at the altar where I will show him. And these, my friends, listen to this here, these are the words that you all must repeat. Meaning the whole nation of Israel, when they go over into the land, these are the words they must repeat. And here it goes. My father, a Syrian, sojourned into Egypt, a few in numbers, became a great multitude, and the Egyptian evil entreated us, and with the cry and voice and the strong arms of Yahweh brought us out of Egypt. So God was letting Moses know, after 400 years coming out of Egypt, that the man who went down there with a few of his sons, a few in numbers, was of Syrian stock. You know what I'm telling you? Syrian stock. Jacob didn't make himself. Jacob's father was a man named Isaac. Isaac is the son of Abraham. Abraham, listen good, Abraham, before he died, in the book of Genesis chapter 22, and between 22 and chapter 24, you will see where Abraham was telling the servant that, listen, when you see I die, make sure that Isaac does not take a wife in the land of Canaan among the Canaanites. Let him go home to my kinsmen, my kingship, my family, and take a wife. The Bible records that he went and he got a lady called Rebecca. Rebecca married Isaac. Isaac married to Rebecca. But the Bible also says that Rebecca had a brother named Laban, Laban the Syrian. But their father is a man named Bethuel, Bethuel the Syrian. Bethuel the Syrian, who is Rebecca's father, who is also Laban's father, Laban the Syrian. But Bethuel's father, my friends, was a man named Abraham brother, not Haran. Haran would have died. That is Lot's father. I would tell Nahor. Nahor, the father of Bethuel the Syrian, is Abraham's brother. The Bible says that Abraham's father, Terah, left Ur of Chaldea with two sons, Abraham and Nahor, because Haran, which is Lot's father, would have died before they even leave or start the journey. So my friends, the reason I'm telling you this is that the people that calling themselves Jews and they believe that the Jews was black, the Bible says that they were Syrian stock. And I will share with you how black people come to also be able to call themselves Jews, because the Bible provides for that. When they were leaving Egypt, my friends, in Exodus chapter 12, from about verse 37 to 48, it says, and a mixed multitude also went up, left Egypt with the Israelites. And God said to them in the wilderness that every stranger who travel with you, who sojourn with you, let him first be circumcised, and he is as one of you who would have been born in the land. That makes you an Israelite, my friends. So the Israelites that we thinking about, it have a thing called the physical Israel. The teachings of the Bible today has moved away from that. It have a thing called the Israel of God. If you don't understand what I'm speaking about, the Bible speak about a lady called Rahab the harlot. Rahab the harlot was a Canaanite who met the spies when they came over into the land. The Bible in the book of Exodus, in the book of Hebrews, the Bible says that Rahab is among the faithful, Abraham and David and that kind of thing. So the Bible confirmed that she has been saved. And also in the book of Acts, where Peter would have had this dream, and he went to a man named Cornelius, who was of the Gentile, and they were shocked. When they went to Cornelius, they found that the Holy Spirit that they had, and believe it was theirs and them alone, that same Holy Spirit went on Cornelius, and he began to speak in tongues, just as they had been doing on the day of Pentecost. The reason I'm sharing this with you, my friends, quickly, I just want to let you know that from the time you try to bring race in the teachings of what the real Christianity is about and what Christ is all about, you are very much astray, my friends. So I will pause there for the hour, and all you have a nice evening, and thanks for allowing me to share this with you. Once again, thank you.